We continue with the Grumpy project. Grumpy the Long Gray is a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. It is a capable truck as a stock offering, but this project intends to transform the Gladiator into a flexible platform for long-distance travel and long-term self-sufficiency. In episode 1, we explored our previous rig, Clifford the Red, a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. It was a great rig for solo travel, but now I'm joined by Poppins and others to explore and report. More room, capacity, and flexibility was needed. In episode 2, we did some interior modifications and installed molly panels, a do-it-yourself overhead crossbar, dash top device rail system, and underseat storage. In episode 3, we moved on to accommodations with a bed rack, rooftop tent, rotopacks, and a recovery gear storage box. In this episode, we install a drawer system, front bumper, a 10,000-pound winch, suspension airbags, and a high-intensity light bar installed inside the rig. I'm Chuck, the channel's Restless Viking. Let's get started. Normally I would create a do-it-yourself drawer system, but I simply don't have the time, so I opted for the most popular solution from Decked. The first step in adding their drawer system is to clean the bed and add the shims to level the playing field. Then remove the factory attachments. Then we partially assemble the framework, careful not to over-torque the fasteners as the high-density polyethylene doesn't like it. It's very easy to strip attachment points. We temporarily assemble the system to square it up, install part of the frame to the bed, place the rear storage boxes, then we install the steel drawer rails. The next step is to place the deck of the system and secure it with rubber washers and fasteners. Now we're ready to install the drawers, which entails adding reinforcements and braces, installing the rollers on the drawers and on the frame. Then we add the weather seal, assembly plates, and bottle opener. We secure the rear of the cargo system to the cargo tie-downs. We add an extra E-Track cargo management system, and now we're ready to load essential gear. It's a decent system, and after 2 months of use with a full week of heavy rain, everything is dry and the system still works well. So with my job, sailing a tall ship, flying, creating content, and much more going on in my life, my time's at a premium. So my next step was meeting with Short Straw and giving up the reins for a while. So Nate, I can do this work myself. It's just this is Nate. Nate is the star mechanic of the expeditionary team. Last time we went out was November. Last year, yeah, November. So he knows what it takes, but he kind of treats me like I don't know what I'm doing.
He knows what he's doing, kind of, but I just keep him from starting on fire.
And to be very clear, I've never started a fire with my electrical work. So Nate's going to work on the stuff. So you're going to be with Nate for a while?
See this gasket? I have no confidence in that gasket. The washer fluid is not mine!
Hello, Restless Viking Nation. I am Chuck, the personal mechanic, and I prevent forest fires by keeping him from doing electrical work on his Jeep.
That's Nate.
In this video, I'll be showing you that I am putting a winch and front bumper on, inside light bar, behind the windshield. I am rewarded by some pretty awesome trips that he takes me on. So I hope you enjoy the videos I'm about to make, and you too can prevent forest fires by preventing Chuck from doing electrical work on your vehicles. Please save a life and a forest.
Replacing a bumper and adding a winch entails removing trim, radiator cover, induction tube, and the bolts holding the bumper with a fancy wrench, apparently. The skid plate, too. Then make a big mess in the shop trying to find the winch plate that I forgot to provide. Then go order the part. Remove the running lights from the old bumper, install in the new. Replace the new bumper and tighten the fasteners when all the bolts are installed. Replace the wiring for the fog lights.
It's winch time.
The first step in the winch install is to mount the control box and connect the wiring to the winch body. The Smitty-built Gen 2 X20 10,000-pound winch is an easy-to-use, easy-to-install, waterproof, heavy-duty, and durable winch. The 6.6 horsepower amphibious motor can be used with a wired controller or wirelessly. It has about 98.5 feet of synthetic rope. It's one of the strongest torque options on the market, and with some knowledge and technique, it can be used to get Grumpy out of any problem. The winch sits on top of this bumper and needs a plate for the fairlead. After wiring the control box, you wait for the winch plate to arrive because I forgot to order one.
Okay, now I'm back out on the winch because I got my other part.
It's impressive that a professional shop can get a part in a couple hours, and I get the same part in a few months. Install and tighten the bolts holding the winch and winch plate. Grumpy has a lot of constant load in the bed with a roof rack, bed rack, drawer system, and gear. Airlift suspension bags help maintain ground clearance, keep a smooth ride, and prevent swaying and sagging, especially off-road. The first step is to elevate the vehicle on a fancy, expensive lift that I can't afford. Then remove the coil spring and pull off the blue isolator compound from the spring. Install the new bag and isolator compound. Route the air line to the other side. Repeat the steps for the other side. Install the new valve to inflate and deflate the bags and inflate to the desired pressure. We installed the valve under and forward of the fuel door.
Hello everybody. Now I'm going to do the light bar inside. Looks like a fairly easy job. Some Torx bits and bolting stuff up, and I already got this all apart right here so I can run the auxiliary switch wiring harness, so I'm going to get to it.
The first step is to get the visors out of the way, then install the mounting brackets to the roof catch mounts. Then fasten the interior light bar to the brackets. Route the wiring to an ignition power source or the battery. We chose the battery as a power source.
Now we have to find battery power in this vehicle.
We opted to find a power source inside the vehicle.
This is how you prevent forest fires, by wiring stuff up for Chuck so he doesn't do it. I'm going to center splice my power ground into the inverter wiring. It will be double fused.
Nate opted to use the inverter power and add another fuse to the circuit. I don't plan to use the inverter anyway, as we'll be adding a more powerful inverter later. Then we route the power wire and connect it to the light bar. The interior light bar has minimum obstruction on the windshield and provides plenty of lumens for those night trips on the remote Arctic ice roads. But the biggest benefits are that it isn't degraded by the weather and is much quieter than an external bar.
Well, there you have it. Overhead light bar installed. I don't know if you can see the reflection in there, but there's that and there's that on battery power, not ignition power.